All right, Frank, take us into the Bungie podcast.
This is your last. This is your last podcast as a non-U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
We should talk about
We
that.
should talk about that.
Yeah.
No, this is your first podcast as an American.
No,
Well, that's what
not
I'm
quite.
official.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow
afternoon.
he's sworn in.
Oh, so by the time this comes out in 3 weeks.
This has to come out before the 15th.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go with the intro.
We're the Bungie kids with plasma pistols glowing. It's our podcast show with Brian and friends and Frankie.
Welcome back to the Bungie podcast. We're joining you today with a special guest, Mr. Lars Bakken, who's going to be talking to us about downloadable content, the Legendary Pack, to be specific.
Yes.
And we will have a surprise guest later in the show, won't we?
Yeah, it's a surprise.
I guess we will.
It's not that surprising. It's Shishka.
You just
Wait,
ruined
wait,
the
you just
surprise.
ruined it.
Spoiler. Can we put spoiler tags on audio? No.
No.
Anyway, but also joining me in the studio are Brian Gerard and Luke Smith, as usual.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's good to be back.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Legendary Pack. April 15th. Hopefully this is out by then.
No guarantees.
Otherwise, this will be old news, right?
Yeah.
People have been playing the maps for
Right.
2 weeks, and then they listen to this really exciting podcast.
So tell us about what people have been playing, Lars.
So the legendary podcast. Geez, I'm breaking.
Well, this is legendary.
So we'll take all the compliments
all right.
we can get.
The legendary map pack is comprised of 3 maps, as you guys know. Ghost Town, which is the all-new map, and then a remake of Sidewinder, we're calling Avalanche, and
We're also calling it a reimagination.
oh,
Yeah.
right, a
remake. Remake implies
Right,
perfect port.
reimagination
Strict.
sounds much more magical. So yeah, I'll use that. And then also a port, or I guess it's not a reimagination, a port of Lockout. We're calling Blackout.
I don't
I
like the
call
word
it
port.
reimagination as well. I don't think
Is
it's
it really a
straight port.
reimagination?
Yeah, I don't think you'll find
It's
that
pretty
100%.
close though. I mean,
Uh,
it's not 100%. I will
not a
say
port.
that. Does a port have to be 100%?
So I would say,
Does a port take the amount of art resources and time that we put into Blackout?
I would say that you would use
Probably
remake.
not.
I think a port's copy paste.
Remake.
Yeah,
thank you.
remake is you
So
know,
remake and
right.
reimagination. I'm
Yeah.
getting my terminology correct now. Yeah.
That's
all right.
why you make the game,
Right.
and we just
I
edit.
just don't talk.
Well, let's get that out of the way. What are the big differences in Blackout from Lockout?
In Blackout, let's see.
I'll tell you what, the windows.
Right, the window on the library.
And the ledges and the jumps.
The ledges
Yeah,
and the
ledges and the
jumps,
jumps,
they're
we know
they're
why
pretty
we-
close, but there's some things that are different for sure.
Why?
There's
And the
some
shield doors
No,
and maulers.
there's shield doors and maulers everywhere. So
there-
I hope people are okay with that.
Caveat, there
wait,
are
wait,
not
wait.
shield doors and maulers
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's true. They're not.
They've
No,
already
they're
been removed by Shishka. Don't worry, folks.
There are a couple of differences, like the center platform actually on one side has a little bit of a couple of flanges coming off of it that
Oh,
you
don't
can.
say flange like people are just, oh yeah, right, flange.
All right, it's like a piece of metal that you can jump onto, and it actually makes it easier now to get up onto the sniper tower from the center platform, and actually
friendly.
blocks some of the sight lines coming from like the BR tower to I don't know what you call that in the MLG world. Is it Snipe 1 or something? Right below the sniper tower. What's
yeah,
that?
it's probably Snipe 1.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The
I don't know.
terminology,
I
so.
don't know what they call it either.
Doodad.
The other day when we were dominating on it, what were you calling it?
Snipe 1.
Snipe 1.
Yeah.
Okay, let's call it Snipe 1 then.
Well, I didn't want people to think that I was just naming stuff for MLG. That's not how we roll.
I just assume that's what you call it.
Oh, but the biggest difference, I guess, people already know, which is that it's human themed. It's not Forerunner anymore, and that's a pretty big visual difference. And it takes place kind of in the right next to a huge iceberg and sitting on a platform miles above the ocean.
Oh,
At
it's
night.
pretty cool.
I feel
At
like
night too.
Hence blackout.
Yep.
With the
Hence
Aurora
blackout,
Borealis.
yep.
Or didn't we have an
beautiful.
argument that it might be the Aurora Australis?
So there's a
Whatever it
whole-
is.
Depending on where it
There's
is,
a big
correct.
debate.
Because-
do you know the answer? Is this Antarctica or is this?
because I left both in because I think it's funny when you guys don't know, and then I get all the messages.
I
about
honestly
it.
don't know because I
Alan said Arctic. Paul Russell
Yeah.
said Antarctic.
if Paul Russell said Antarctic, then that's what I'd go with.
I would
Australis,
definitely
then.
pick the artist
Yeah.
over the producer as
Yep,
well.
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, well there you have it. It's been solved.
Right. It's a pretty Aurora, the end.
It's
If
gorgeous.
Again, we're assuming that Paul Russell said that, and I wasn't just saying that off the top of my head.
Okay.
Nope, it's canon now.
Yep, it's done.
So minor differences. There's windows in the library now, so you can't just
It's
dominate
definitely
that one spot.
It's definitely harder to, although still possible, to hold the BR tower from the top because before you could fire out from those windows in Halo 2, and that's you can't do that now. So it makes that portion of the map harder to hold, which we found doesn't change a whole lot. Some people probably will like it. Some people may not like it.
It's the internet's.
Yeah, but it plays remarkably well. The last time we had a take home, and we were testing out matchmaking, and I first settled down and spawned in Blackout. It felt like coming back to an old friend. It was just awesome. I felt so good, like running around making all the same jumps.
Kind of like an old
Same.
girlfriend. Is that what you're saying?
No, like
when
an
that
old,
happens.
maybe it's closer.
dirty
maybe it's
stop
better.
out.
But maybe I should have said an old shoe. You know how it feels good
That's
to slip on
mean.
an
You should
old
have more
shoe.
respect for your girlfriend.
No, I agree
Anyways,
with
it,
you,
it felt really good. I was like, wow, this is like an amazing looking version of Lockout that I'm running around in Halo 3. Just there was something indescribable about it. I don't know.
Yeah, we
how
had the
else
same
to-
thing when we were playing a few weeks ago.
We were playing
taking some
CeeLo and the Wonder
screenshots,
Twins.
playing against some scrubs, and I was a little rusty, but next thing I know, I'm on a 16 or no kill streak. And,
Using the scoot combo.
the scoot combo.
Nice.
Yeah. Just like old
Excellent.
times. I was even dual wielding for the hell of it. Remember?
Wow.
Just cause, normally
Yeah,
dual
no.
wielding's a
Yeah.
ticket to losing.
And let's get this out of the way while I remember. There's some forge objects in Lockout specifically that let you just place doors over open doorways
Yeah.
that fit perfectly.
Yeah, like
snap, and it totally changes the flow of a
yeah.
a
If you're familiar with the doors in Foundry,
Not
they're
literally a snap.
yeah. It's it's Foundry.
2 hours
Or,
of
sorry, it's
careful
Forge.
forging.
Right.
Shoehorning it in.
It works in much the same way the doors in Foundry did, but because all the door frames are pretty uniform, you can just grab this door and block off any little section if you
Block out?
wanted.
How would
Block
that
out,
play
sure.
if you just blocked every opening?
I tried it, and I called it Blockout, and it
was
sucked.
terrible?
Yeah,
Because you just have the
But if you add a
platform.
whole bunch of
Stupid dead
teleporters, now you have like some reimagination of
Tyron?
Teleporters.
Yeah, but you can
Yeah.
make idiot dead ends
Interesting.
for yourself, which I did. Like I fell down in a little walkway and realized I couldn't get off without.
Like you got in the
Suiciding.
shotgun tunnel. There's no way to escape once you drop down.
You can do that. Yeah,
I like that though.
Yeah.
A little death trap.
Yeah, so if people want to do that,
Eventually
they
your whole
can.
team, everyone just sits down there and waits.
And no bungle did not make that the default lockout. So
The best part though is I've always wanted to drive a mongoose or a ghost around the ramps of the lockout. Now you
And
can.
now you
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
A ghost?
Yeah, we've got a ghost
Yes,
and a
you
mongoose
do.
in there.
mongoose.
We're
is
putting the
funnier.
ghost in matchmaking, right?
No.
Default.
I think Shishka's turning it on. The Covenant's variant.
Blame
The Mauler
Shishka.
ghost.
Race on blackout.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Blackout Coveys.
Yeah, actually.
And actually, there are other main cannons on blackout.
There are in the Forge palette. I mean, there's
Ooh.
no,
So
there's
you can
no
go from tower to
yeah.
tower?
The only lift is the same lift or the similar lift to the one in Lockout. But it's an air vent now, so
I like that.
human themed.
It's good stuff. It's a good map. I highly recommend it.
It's fun.
While we're in the cold, wintry wastes, our next map would be Avalanche.
Yes. So Avalanche, as Luke so correctly
Wasn't
pointed
it called
out.
Snow Snake once.
Well, remember, the thing is, when we were trying to come up with names, I spent a little while on
Snow
Wikipedia
snake.
looking for. Well, I was trying to look for variations of the Sidewinder, which
It's true.
like
Right.
to find like some sort of
Well,
relative.
someone said Copperhead, I think, at one time, and we were looking for Snow Snakes.
Snow snake's perfect.
Yeah,
We-
don't look up Snow Snake on Urban Dictionary, by the way. It's not what you think.
I think we were maybe going to call it Frostbite, possibly at one point. There were a couple other really
Cold
cool
Turkey,
names.
I think.
Cold Turkey.
What was the internal code name? Since all of our maps kind of go through a variety
So,
of internal
Cotton
names.
Ball.
It was Cotton Ball.
Well, that was the that was the forward-facing fake
That was the
name.
VNet fake name, but the internal name was Sidewinder because
okay.
it was the same. It was actually the exact same geometry. That's what we started with. So it was called Sidewinder.
Why didn't we just call it Sidewinder?
Because it's been
Because we
reimagined.
rename everything, Luke. Come on.
Now,
What
people
what was Blood Gulch in Halo 2?
Coag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
You
would
just
make
answered
that would
your own
make
question.
sense.
Well, Sidewinder was just too hard to come up with the next logical evolution of that name.
I was trying to think of the Bad Snake's name and Ricky Tikki Tavi. I just couldn't come
tried.
up.
We did.
All that stuff.
Luke's been at least
Yeah.
a week researching.
So
I think
good
it was
use
just
of
called
time.
Cobra. I don't think it had a name, did it?
Cobra would have been awesome.
Cobra,
would've been
yeah.
Cool.
Ice Cobra.
Let's change it right now.
Snowbra.
Snowbra.
Yeah, can we delay the release?
Yeah, let's delay it by a couple weeks.
Hey, then the podcast will come out at the same time.
Now, the thing was that when we announced Avalanche and said that it had been reimagined, people got like crazy bent out of shape
Yeah.
because we dared to change
Right.
the perfection that was Sidewinder. Now, my favorite thing in Sidewinder, the perfect map that it was to simply grab the flag through the fence or
Yeah.
park a ghost and board it through the fence
Yep.
or any number
Yep,
of
yep.
tricks. Sidewinder was a lovely, fun map. It was great for a lot of game types, but it was totally broken. Like, it was probably the most broken map we've ever shipped in terms of how you could abuse geometry and passageways.
Luke doesn't look like he's.
I don't know.
agreeing there.
I don't
Well,
want
did you make a gentleman's agreement not to throw the flag through the fence or not park a ghost so you
What,
could
you don't
board
think the
it?
gentlemen's agreements work online?
I've noticed how firm your agreements remain.
Well, yeah. I mean, you bring up a good point. Like, if we're gonna change things like that, definitely people are gonna be upset if it's a beloved map. But you know, we started with the original geometry and we played it a ton in Halo 3. And Halo 3, as I think everyone can agree, is not the same game as Halo 1. There are a lot of changes that have the game has gone through, and based off those changes and kind of what we wanted. The Sidewinder reimagination to be like necessitated some changes, like removing that center area that allowed you to throw the flag 2 feet and then get to the other base.
God,
Another thing
Bungie.
I wanted
I
to
know.
set the record straight on, because there was a lot of one of the other things people were complaining about, just based on the interview piece on Bungie.net. A lot of the artists said that we worked really hard to make it so there were no longer these big stalemates on this map, and people were like, "Oh my god, that was the best part about Sidewinder."
You know
I love
what
the
is-
epic stalemates and these long matches. For the record, there are still plenty of stalemates.
Yeah,
on
that I
Avalanche.
laughed
Here's
when I heard them say
Here's
that.
the funny thing about that interview is that, and we did, we don't want stalemates to happen in matchmaking, and that's true. But we would have these massive,
Like hour
we
plus
would have
long
like hour and a half
multi-flags.
long
Yep.
multi-flag games in the playtest, and people would be like, "Oh, I'm so worried," and I would walk out of the playtest lab, and in my head I was like, "Well, plays like Sidewinder,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Mission accomplished."
That was so
No,
fun.
but you said in the Bungie Net interviews all change should be easy to score. Now the games would end.
It's definitely easier to score than it was, and we did that on purpose because we don't want every Avalanche game to be 0-0 in a multi-flag big team battle environment, because that's boring. Not that the games themselves are boring, but people would come away semi-frustrated. So it's definitely
what's the pro
easier to
tip
get in there.
scoring from your perspective.
There's a couple of cool new ways to get into the base. There's obviously the teleporters are 2-way now, which they weren't in Halo 1. I think in Halo PC they made them 2-way. If I'm correct, maybe someone can correct me on that.
Yeah, someone from the internet, no
Yeah,
one here.
exactly.
I think I might have missed that one.
So there's the 2-way teleporters. There's man cannons. There's a man cannon that launches you basically right on top of the flag.
I did
now.
notice that. You can drive your whole Warthog right
Yes,
into the flag room.
exactly.
That is
which
pretty
is pretty
glorious,
cool.
yeah.
And then there's also, in place of the kind of interior caves, there's now a ninja route kind of moving up the side, which is pretty cool.
Heading in the side door.
Yep, heading in the side door, which takes you right to the flag, and that's pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, and usually
What about
a gang of dudes.
Yeah.
But you don't recommend trying to go for a Hornet cap?
The Hornet cap is the classiest way to do it, and
is
it
there a
is
Hornet
so
in,
fun.
Is there a Hornet in Avalanche?
Hell yeah, there's a
I
Hornet.
didn't recognize
bro.
one.
It blends in too much.
Oh my god! Explain.
So,
Dude, wait, but the thing is, like,
hold
we've
on.
reached. Let him finish. We've treaded on all the snow tread stuff. It's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
people
Yeah,
listening to the
but people
podcast
know.
thinking we recorded it in January.
I know.
Well, sure, but not everyone reads all of your stuff, Luke. I don't.
It's a different audience.
So to speak to Frank's point real quickly, we thought it would be cool to have snow vehicles. Like the UNSC vehicles have been textured.
Yeah.
Like the Warthog looks like it's
Reimagined.
been
Just camouflage.
they've all been reimagined.
reimagined,
And so you've got the
repurposed.
mongoose,
In a world.
the scorpion, which looks remarkably awesome, and
the snow tread hog. Oh wait,
did I say the mongoose already? The warthog,
Mongoose,
and the
warthog.
hornet,
Scorpion.
and the scorpion. Yes, I said that. I believe.
Hornet caps
And
are
the
awesome.
Hornet has actually been changed a little bit, and yes, the only Hornet version in this map is the one that has the missiles taken off, and the gun is not quite as powerful. It is in no way is it not.
It's still
like
a flying,
crazy
owning machine.
dominating
It's ridiculous.
machine.
You can, if our pentathlon was any indication, the Hornet can still dominate.
It's still the
that.
air
It can-
wolf.
Hands
It's
down.
essentially now whereas before it was a god-fearing weapon. Like now it's a suppression machine. But it is awesome to do a flag
but
cap in one.
It just suppresses your lives because it tears you up.
Yeah, it's really fun though.
Now, the other complaint that we got on the interwebs was that the ice was there but was slippery. In fact, it has the same physics as the rest of the ground, but the difference this time is in a Warthog especially, you can throw it into that with a handbrake, which you didn't have on Halo 1, so you can sort of fake it. It's not identical.
I'm driving
It's
over the
not-
ice.
yeah,
Press A.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
What
not
a simulation!
And then you
correct.
discover-
it's not.
yeah.
It's not the same as the
Yeah.
Halo 1 ice. That is
I'd
true.
sometimes turn up my sensitivity all the way to the max. It makes me like a little like kind of like I lost my
Squirrely.
feeling. Yeah, it's just a little trickier. Kind of gets me into the atmosphere.
But then I yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything else to say on
How about Forge?
Forge.
What's new in Forge and Avalanche? I've seen a lot of little goodies when I've been
So there's
browsing
some
through
there's
the,
some cool stuff. There's
palette.
some Jason Sussman did some cool Forerunner walls. So there's some walls that you
New
can
walls.
create a base. There's also kind of like a sniper perch type thing that you can set up.
Yes, the Watchtower.
The Watchtower.
They're actually very fun to.
We made
levitate
Sketch
them
and I are
around.
working on all along the watchtower.
Tower
Nice.
defense. Yeah,
That's cool.
We're just
And,
calling it Hendrix.
That's cool. I like that. Simple. And these energy blockers, which are essentially they're the same principle as the door in Blackout, but they're a Forerunner version, and you can block all the doorways with these like immovable energy doors. Pretty cool.
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole thing. Shishka, Sketch, and I tried to block off half the map and make Hendrix, but we all got distracted by work.
I can't wait to make a Forge variant where I put a ramp down and then a Traxxas crate and a wall, and I just make a smooth, perfect surface
be
across
awesome.
those three things.
I'm
If you-
surprised. You know what? I'm surprised no one has asked me about the ladder comment. So nobody's said anything.
On the podcast?
Yeah,
There's no.
No, we dealt with it
We
already.
just feel like we've beaten that horse to death.
that's
I mean,
true.
come on.
Lars claims there's ladders everywhere in Halo and also nowhere in Halo. simultaneously. Anyway, that's all the maps. isn't
No.
it?
No,
wait,
we-
Ghost Town.
Ghost Town.
This-
Yeah.
I think Ghost Town is the
Yes.
sleeper.
No, the
Of the map
sleeper has
pack.
awakened.
Well,
it is
it is-
awesome.
Well,
The
it's the
thing
one that
about-
people are already discounting because they just don't know it, right?
Yeah.
They're so enamored with these old classics, but I think
Well,
Luke's right. There's
we
something
knew this
magical
was
about
going to
Ghost Town.
happen. We knew this was going to happen if we put a Lockout and a Sidewinder remake. Whatever the third map was going to be, it's going to get the shaft in terms of
Well, we should've
that
slipped a
PR
turd in there
splash.
then.
But
Yeah, it's
right. But Ghost Town is actually
It's good.
so
It's
far,
awesome.
it might actually be my favorite map in Halo 3.
know,
and I
Just the other day, I said the same thing.
Yep.
We had an amazing little couple games up against the Wonder Triplets. It was a lot of fun.
The Wonder Triplets, and so that you know if you're listening, are three art contractors, right?
Yeah.
So we're
People
already
on the
playing against
support
artists who are
team here at
generally
Bungie.
regarded in that lower tier of Halo skill. But maybe that's by design. But it's Carlos, Stosh, and Andrew?
Yeah, and somehow they just got that moniker. When they,
I know.
They just ride around on a mongoose together all the time.
Woo!
And and it's a sure way to get a double kill every time. Ghost Town's good though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really good for Team Slayer. It's very good for one-sided, asymmetric games.
Amazing one-sided games. Like my end-to-end flag cap. Did you hear about that? And I wiped out the team by myself.
Yeah, it was in the paper.
Carried the flag out. Yeah, it was. Have you seen the forge objects for Ghost Town, by the way? They're awesome.
Well, I've seen the normal ones, like the crates and
have you
whatnot,
seen,
but
like,
the
the
special
scaffolding?
Have you seen the watchtower, like the scaffolding tower that you can deploy yourself, and like the planks for ramps?
Yep, there's a bunch of suitably themed.
And maybe your original idea for your map called Catwalks could come back to life.
Yeah,
you could put
and
up
on
the
that map
scaffoldings.
especially, it would almost work automatically. You just have to drop a couple to totally change the way the outside perimeter
Yeah,
works.
because you
then
could add
ship.
stairs
Done
and
ship
ramps up to
Perimeter has
different
already been
areas.
trademarked.
Nice.
Different
Need
map.
cover?
But I thought
Make
you
your
were,
own.
when you were talking about the forge objects there, I thought you were talking about something else.
Well, let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about that.
What
I'm
about
colorblind,
that,
so I don't
Lars?
understand.
Yeah, this will be old news, I'm sure.
Yeah,
by the
by-
time the podcast
Yeah, we
comes
announced
out.
Friday
this
last week,
16
yeah.
Fridays
Again,
ago.
to
Yeah.
Frank's point, don't assume that listeners
True.
are readers
Okay.
and vice versa. Okay,
Okay,
let's just
done.
A lot of
assume
people
it's
don't
We're
even
in the
know
present here.
Heroic maps are free to download right now. Go get them. Seriously, a lot of people don't know.
I'll be
It's
right
true.
back.
People don't know.
Hey, Halo 3 is coming out September 25th, 2007. Get ready.
So we try and have something cool and unique and new in each map pack. And in the first map pack, we had man cannons and shield doors and
Soccer
the soccer
balls.
ball and some crazy stuff. And this time around, we did something a little bit different for probably a little bit different type of Halo 3 player. We decided to add in some kind of crazy screen effects, and they're pretty cool. We have 6 total, and you can use them on each of the maps. And you drop them anywhere in the environment in Forge, and then they cover the entire map, and it changes basically what the game looks like. It's that some of them are hard to explain. You just kind of have to drop them and see them for yourself. But some are really cool, like this one called Pen and Ink, which does basically a super crazy, grainy, almost Sin City black and white. I don't even know how else to describe it.
Well,
we have that grayscale one that makes our game look like other popular next generation
right.
titles.
There's one called Gloomy that definitely is like.
There's one called
could
Destroyed
also-
Beauty.
Yeah, it could be called. That's horrible. No, it could be called the next gen filter. Also,
If you want to see these screenshots, check the Bungie Weekly Update from 3 weeks
Several
ago.
So wait, each screen effect you can drop one and it applies to the entire map.
Yes.
What happens if you drop more than one?
They start to play with each other in weird ways. Definitely, some are more
Can you spread them
powerful than the
around
other.
and actually experience more than one over the course of a single map? Or
Yeah, I mean they basically just go over the top of each other. So it's like you drop one anywhere and the entire map is
but then
completely
if you
covered.
drop another
Multiplied
one,
by that
it
other
would then
effect.
just nullify the one you dropped prior?
It doesn't
or
nullify it. They kind of combine in weird ways.
Is there a way to make it? So let's just say hypothetically on Ghost Town, you put the sepia tone one on one side, and you put gloomy on the other side of the map. Can you actually traverse the map and see the palette change?
No, there's nothing like that. It's like it's like you're dropping this down, and the entire map is then old timey, which is one of the
so our
names.
idea to
Ding,
make
ding,
just a
ding,
bunch of
ding,
rooms that are all
ding, ding, ding.
different color palettes and stuff wouldn't really fly.
Yeah,
No,
our idea
no.
fails.
All right.
Fail.
But,
So what was the idea behind these screen effects? I mean, what are you trying to?
The
accomplish
general
by-
thinking was, we saw, if you go anywhere online, you'll see these crazy Halo 3 screenshots, and people started finding out things where, when grenades go off or explosions, you're seeing screen effects that do like warping and like, depth of field sometimes and all sorts of crazy stuff. And people were actually positioning the camera in their films and taking these awesome screenshots. And we thought, well, what if we just gave them the opportunity to like make the level always look like that and then set up their own scenarios if they wanted to? And we know, some people who are hardcore forgers are probably not, it's not as interesting to them, but it's like hitting a different, part of the forge and the machinima
People
crowd.
can make their own bull shots.
Right.
Well, we've been letting them do that since September 25th, 2007.
Is there a lens flare?
Just last week.
No
Object?
lens flare. That's coming in the next game.
Anywhere you are, no matter what angle or inside or out, there's always a lens flare coming from
your helmet.
from like 9 o'clock high.
Yeah.
Should we talk to Shishka then about we should have a playlist? It's nothing but visual effects versions of the maps.
Let's save that. We're going to
Well,
get to it in just a few minutes.
I mean, people were talking about dropping the old-timey one or gloomy or something like that for infection variants, like so the map actually seems darker and
That's a good
scarier,
idea.
you know.
More sinister.
That's a
Yes.
good idea. Which one would you apply to race?
To race? Probably...
Jovial. That's one of them?
No, it was Juicy.
Fruity?
Juicy.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Fruity would
Juicy
work.
is-
What? You look like you're just distracted, Frank. What's the deal? You're not.
He's
you're not-
only guy in the room
Probably
without a
has
beard.
to. Yeah, he probably has to go to the
He
bathroom.
doesn't.
No, I don't have a beer.
I don't either. Yeah, what the hell? We're back
So
on the air.
yeah, we're back, and
We
we
have a
went to
special guest, a big occasion on a new map release.
went to go to the beer fridge, which was full because we had Butcher stocked it a while ago, but it's no longer there.
It's gone.
Everything that's happened upstairs has changed.
You know
all
why? It's
things.
because we had a DLC crunch, so it probably disappeared.
I don't think that's why.
No, it just
No.
got moved.
I think it got poached.
the fun police showed up. Arrested him.
I see.
Arrested
I see
all
what
the
you're
fun.
saying.
Yeah, we just don't have enough listeners to. We need once our podcast audience grows, and this is a real force to reckon with, people won't be touching our beers up here.
We need a sponsor. We need like Mac and Jacks to get up on this business.
Or Manny's.
Yeah.
Manny's, Mac and Jacks, Mirror Pond.
Get
Yeah.
some of the
What
local
else does
beers.
it want?
Good
Yeah,
local
Pyramid
stuff.
and
Yeah.
Red Hook up the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
Yeah.
This next segment brought to you by Red Hook.
Let's let's get a producer on it. Let's see what Matt
Can we
Ives
get a
on.
beer run? Can Shishka bring beer in for his segment as part
Is
of
he?
it?
No, because I
Is-
kind of
he
want to
gets
just keep.
carded
I want to
and he
just
has
plow
fake
through this
ID
and be
That's
done
a
with it.
requirement, I thought.
No,
I thought all first-time guests have to show up with a gift, a beverage. It is weird that Frank's the only one in the room without a beard, though. I don't
Yeah.
like. What's up with that?
Well,
Are you going full beard, Lars, or are you just kind of
I don't know. We'll
toying
see.
with it?
Toying. I'm trying. I got past the itchy phase, so it's
Oh, now it's
it's
kind of soft and breaking in a little bit.
Yeah.
Supple.
yeah, Frank's all clean shaved today.
Well, I got that big interview
Frank's got
tomorrow.
a big day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd like
With
to
the
congratulate-
US government.
congratulate
yeah, the big day
Frank.
3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, but by the time you listen to
Yeah,
this,
we should.
How'd
We
you
should
score
let
on your
everyone
test,
know.
by the way?
I
Let
scored
everyone-
100% on the test.
What kind of stuff's on the test? Let's see if like.
What
Luke
did
or
this-
Lars
Hold
know the
on. Like,
answer.
does everyone know? They don't even know
yeah,
what we're
yeah, they don't
talking
even know what the
about.
test
Back
is.
it
They
up,
could think
back
Frank's
it up.
taking a blood test.
Yeah.
Where's
We're going.
Scotland, I'm from. I've applied for my U.S. citizenship about 6 months ago or a year ago, whatever. It takes a long time.
That's
And,
nothing compared to what I've been
Oh,
reading.
it depends who you are and what
Consider
you
yourself
do.
lucky.
Yeah, it's pretty random. Depends where you live as well.
Frank
Seattle's
O'Connor
different
from
than
Bungie.
L.A., for example. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
They're
in
like,
Halo,
oh my,
bitch.
I got a mail back.
Is that how it went?
I got a mail back from the USCIS last year, and it said, "I can has recon." And I was like, "Yes, you can has recon," and they failed me on the English exam. No, so I got my test last week. It's probably 4 weeks ago now, and they just ask you a random sampling of 10 questions from a study group of 100 questions about U.S. history and civics.
And is this a written test or
That's verbal. The
in
guy
front of a
said.
tribunal?
So the test was
It's in
oral.
front
So
of
the
an
test was
inspector.
oral, yeah.
It's oral, yeah.
Was it sort of like the arbiter sequence we were just talking about with the truth of denial, or the prophet of denial, rather, yelling at you?
It was kind of like the guy was kind of scary and intimidating, but he was nice under all that. But it was scary, and the questions, the hardest questions you could get asked on that test are name the 13 original colonies, for example, or
what?
no, check this one out.
Ouch.
Name each of the amendments that deal specifically with voting rights.
You know
That's
what we
one of
should
the possible
do?
Ones.
Wow.
We should
Frank knows
take
more
the
about
citizenship
US
test
government
after the
than
break.
we do.
Like we should actually have Frank administer the
But
citizenship
you guys,
test.
I mean, you guys know all that stuff. You know
I
what those
probably would
amendments
score
are.
just high on the Scotland citizenship test. than the US
William
citizenship
Wallace.
test,
William
yeah.
Wallace. Freedom.
Long shanks.
So anyway, I ended up getting asked.
Haggis.
Yeah. If we can't beat them out, we'll breed them out. Anyway, I got asked 10 really easy ones.
Man,
So
you aced it, huh?
that was
Good
it.
job.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Oh,
And
Congratulations.
You get
tomorrow, I have
sworn
to
in?
go get sworn in. I put my hand on my heart.
You going to Ellis
you got to
Island?
do it. Is it with the
Pretty
Bible?
much. I'm going to rent and kind of.
Seattle's version of Ellis
So
Island.
you know the thing that we're as much as we are happy for Frank, we are disappointed that he failed the opportunity that he had presented to him to officially change his legal name.
Pretty
forever.
unique opportunity.
Yeah,
like if I was
that's
given
true.
the chance to change my name, in a
You had
heartbeat.
so
Would you
many
really
great
change your
options
name?
and
Sure, why
ideas.
not? Who cares?
Yeah.
My parents aren't going to get upset.
When you fill in the paperwork, Brian's right. They give you one opportunity to change your name forever.
No
You can change it
questions
to
asked,
whatever
right?
you want. Mongo Ajax, Conan the Barbarian 12. I could have been called that.
Yeah, and instead you're still Frank O'Connor.
McLovin.
Yeah, I did, honestly, at the end of it, I was like, I could be McLovin, or I could not have to redo all my credit card information for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So.
And
True
trigger
enough.
like every single fraud alert, identity
Yeah,
theft.
exactly.
Yeah, no one ever take you seriously.
But yeah, so if I get sworn in successfully tomorrow,
congratulations.
that's it. Not Scottish anymore, technically.
Wow.
America.
American. Goodness me. Yeah. So that's that. That's got
Yeah.
nothing
Actually,
to do with
Frank will
anything.
make his American debut on Xbox Live Marketplace around the same time this podcast comes out on Major's Minute.
Yeah,
Frank's
So,
going to be
uh,
on Major's Minute.
Frank is going to be on Major's Minute in glorious HD wearing some red, white, and blue striped pants. The email
Extended.
thread that I saw was an indication.
Dojo
extended
pants.
to an hour. But yeah, Major's Minute.
That's right.
Did you record it already?
No, this
No,
Friday.
This Friday.
That's awesome. What are you going to talk about?
How it's gonna be K.
He's talking about the maps. It's all about
Oh,
the
sweet.
Yeah, it's all about
the
them.
full map.
Major wants to-
About
That's
maps.
why we're
Nice.
asking you all those questions. They weren't rhetorical. That's
We're
Oh,
actually,
right.
we're actually looking to play against Major and his crew in our humping.
He's
next
turned
week
us down
on the new
so
map.
far.
Who would
pretty
Major's
regularly.
crew be?
No,
would
on
KP
the new
in
maps
there?
next week.
Yeah,
as a
KP.
preview, early access to the
Susie
maps.
Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those people who look nothing like the cartoon drawings of them. Yeah.
Major looks like
I kind of
his.
look like
It
my
kind of
cartoon
looks
drawing.
like. Yeah. Does KP have a cartoon drawing?
No, he's
of-
not there
All
yet.
right, never mind.
That's
He
the
hasn't
5-year
reached
search.
that echelon, so yeah.
In addition to a huge sword.
Yeah, awesome.
But unlike the rest of them, KP probably has a chance of getting some points on the board. So
Yeah, true enough.
No, all on maps. Well, actually, yeah, 2 of the 3 maps, he shouldn't have any excuse.
He'll be
Exactly.
fine.
Yep.
Except their reimaginations.
Reimagined.
Fall down and tries to make that jump every time and fails.
Yep. Aw.
We'll stand up there taunting him to make him jump.
Well, I'm imagining a world where we take a quick break and have a line change and bring Shishka in, boot Lars out.
Any closing thoughts, Lars?
No, not really.
All right.
Hey, Lars, where are you
No,
going
I-
tonight?
We're going out for a friend's bachelor party.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's why you got the beard
Frank's trying to
growing.
drag me.
Trying to go incognito.
Yeah, you know,
I
Frank's
see.
trying to
When
drag
photos
me to this
surface.
dirty establishment, and
Are you guys
We'll
going
see.
to Rick's?
That's a thought, actually. We could go to Rick's on the east side if they'll sponsor our
This segment
podcast.
brought to you
Right.
by Rick's.
Shake it
I
before
hope,
you bake it.
I just hope you guys like the maps in the legendary pack. I think they're awesome, and
I concur.
Send your complaints to shishka at bungie.com. As usual.
that's right.
We'll be right back with Shishka and we'll make fun of him. Ready?
So
Ready?
welcome. Oh, jeez.
I thought I was going to do it. I'm just saying.
Right,
If
you
you
do
want to
it,
do
you
it, no,
do it.
it's fine. You do
Luke
it.
always comes back. Frank starts the show. Luke comes back from the break.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay, let's
see?
do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, usually
That's
happens.
what I was trying to make happen. Go.
I'm totally keeping that in.
This is
Go.
awesome.
Shoot.
Well, we're back, and it was a fake commercial break. At some point, I'm sure we'll have real commercials.
Brought to you by Rick's and Red Hook.
That'd be a good sponsorship pair.
Yeah.
2 things that never actually can go together because of foul laws. Brought to you together by the Bungie Podcast. We're back with the first recipient of a Steaktacular, Chad Armstrong, also known as Shishka. Welcome.
Really? I didn't know
Hey,
Yes, we took Chad out for a Steaktacular
That's true.
when we
Real
welcomed him
life.
into
You're right.
town.
You don't
So
know.
you only owe like another million or
I
something?
only owe like another 6.5 million steaks.
You're right.
But one down.
you
That's
actually,
next.
you actually gave one though. That sets a precedent, doesn't it? Now you have to.
No,
Oh,
no, I gave one to myself. I'm paying myself first, then I'm paying everyone else.
Basically, it was 3: one for me, one for you, one for Sketch.
No, Sketch got his own. He's a
that's
grown
right.
man. We
Yeah,
may
I
actually split yours.
Right.
So I still technically owe you 35.5 steaks.
Fair enough.
Shishka is the new playlist designer at Bungie, and that incorporates a wide variety of things, including taking your feedback on the chin squarely, and hopefully hitting you back a few times too.
Yeah. I mean, guy's been on the job, a week or two
About
now
a week.
officially.
About
we
a
had
week.
SWAT in prematurely.
Hey,
The maps weren't available on time.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all good now.
Tomorrow's Vidoc is delayed.
Shishka has brought us the MLG playlist, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's here to stay.
it's
It's
all
been
going
a long,
smoothly.
crazy, winding road to get here.
It
The
really
circle is now
has.
complete. I think,
Sort of. It's like the circle's not complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I'm the what?
Padawan. Rat tail dude, whatever that is.
Rat tail dude. Nice.
Yeah. You know, the little.
Right. Seriously though, what is it about 4 years ago when you first showed up on that cold wintry morning on the doorstep with the sign that says "We'll take screenshots for food"?
I wish you weren't exaggerating. I wish you were exaggerating. Yeah, it's been about 4 years.
That kinda
You
is-
did that? You
is-
pulled like a weird stunt like that?
Not exactly like that, but I did pretty much show up unemployed and almost homeless.
Right.
And we were crunching to take screenshots for Halo 2, and
Right.
yeah,
Oh, I thought he pulled a wacky stunt.
Didn't he? Like his form of payment was seriously like Joyride action figures, wasn't
It
it?
was
He
t-shirts,
wasn't
I
even on the
think.
books. He was just
Yeah.
like some dude like sleeping under this back desk taking screenshots for a while.
I didn't
and,
sleep.
No, he did. Wasn't it like a 48-hour marathon session of screenshots?
My first day at Bungie, which was totally volunteer, was 36 hours of screenshots, most of which were in burial mounds.
We have since revised our policy, though, for any other fans out there. We are no longer taking screenshot volunteers. We're fully staffed and good, thanks.
Or actually any volunteers whatsoever of any
Luke
kind.
needs a writing assistant, though.
No.
We actually didn't have Jerome back then either, so I'm not even sure Shishka would have gotten that far back in
Yeah.
the day.
It was pretty cool back in the old building. I could pretty much walk right in. I
Could
was
just
a
roll
security
in.
breach all the time. It
Find a
was pretty cool.
desk, chill.
So, what are you working on? What do you, I mean,
Right now, I am working on preparing the May playlist update.
What's
the
in
May
it?
Hopper update. If we're ready to announce that stuff,
Yeah,
we're
this will
looking-
probably come out in May. So,
it's all subject to change,
so
right?
this is coming
Why
out.
don't you just tell us what you're looking at doing? without
all
being too
subject to
committal?
change. Among other things, we're moving the MLG playlist from a community category to a hardcore category, and then Team SWAT is going to join it as a dedicated playlist.
Wait, so a full-time, persistent Team SWAT playlist?
That is correct.
Is
Is
it
it ranked?
Yes, ranked Team SWAT.
What? Bungie's ranking Team SWAT? Yeah. No. Yeah.
50% of the population, brought to you by Luke Smith.
Yeah. Of course.
All right. Well, that sounds exciting.
I tried the MLG playlist. I suck at it. I'm okay at Team Slayer, and I know what I'm doing at least, but
Really, I'm a 40. I'm thinking about actually entering for Meadowlands still. I still have time.
I just got so pooned on the objective games. I had no idea what was going on.
The
There's
dust needs to settle.
flags in my face.
Let
and
the
I'm-
pros get
Yeah,
out
give it a
there.
week or
exactly.
two.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. Message to all the pros out there: don't yell at us. You know what's going on with the ranks. Just be nice. No need to belittle us and our skills or lack thereof.
I mean, that's the equivalent of us playing the Wonder Triplets in front of
Yeah.
Poor
So-
Carlos.
setting yourself
That's
up.
the way I look at it. Is it's just sometimes you get it, sometimes you give it.
Right.
So are we calling the Wonder Twins givers or getters?
They're getters.
All right.
Those guys are definitely receiving.
But I mean, actually, just to go back a second, since we weren't finishing the long, crazy 4-year tale of how Chad finally
yeah.
came back here, he had a little, after a couple tours of duty with Bungie on various art projects.
Yeah,
and
two record-breaking
working
contracts.
on things like packaging and manuals
That's
and
right. T-shirts
art
and-
things that have been seen and enjoyed by millions across the globe.
Xbox 360 themes.
Then you
After
picked
that-
it up and moved to Austin.
Yeah, well, Max Hoberman, who was multiplayer lead here for Halo and Halo 2, asked me if I would be interested in helping him design a map pack, one more map pack for Halo 2 before Halo 3 came out. And of course, I jumped at it. That's kind of been the goal since 8th grade, right? So I accepted, and then I went down there, and as things went, he kind of surprised me, and we ended up starting a new company down there, Certain Affinity.
In 8th grade, you wanted to make games.
Yeah.
I think I still wanted to be a GI Joe. I was dead set on being
I was
Snake
waiting for
Eyes.
games to be invented. But
Still do. The military is looking for people that got sniper skills in Halo. I heard.
In 8th grade, that's actually when I played Marathon 1, and it was when I first played with some homebrew mod tools for Marathon that I was like, oh my god, you can actually make these things. I want.
The Bungie tradition goes deep.
And that map pack, of course, is Tombstone. And
That's right. Tombstone and Desolation.
Desolation. That's right.
Ball and Desolation was good. I remember we played you guys in a hump day on that.
Yeah,
it was
that was
an epic hump day that involved you guys lying about what happened.
It's true.
But see, I say you guys, like maybe we lied. But if
We've never lied about the results of a hump day. Like
ever. Those
Well, are you by
barrels.
default on Luke's hump day team now, or do you have to audition for it?
No, yeah, he's
does
on.
that
I
actually
am
work?
on the team now.
Straight up, just walks in,
Bam.
boom,
Yeah.
got a seat, started.
yeah,
Yeah,
community playlist designer, that's a spot.
right there.
Unless
Yeah,
you're
but
bad.
you guys haven't had any hump days in like 3 or 4 weeks, haven't you?
Nothing competitive.
Does Carlos and the Wonder Twins count?
No.
Wait a minute.
I would have invited you to this one, but you get to play all the fun ones while I'm on vacation. You get to play against all the cool people that I'm
sure.
setting up for you to play. Mm-hmm. Like Ubisoft Red Storm,
Right.
the cast of Firefly.
And LucasArts.
Yeah.
True.
It's all true, yeah.
No,
It sounds
that's
like a
awesome.
ridiculous exaggeration. but that
No,
was all
that's
true,
exactly correct. That's who you'll be playing while I'm gone.
Yeah. Captain Mal's going to take it.
And the girls from Playboy's House Next Door reality show. Yeah, I think that one's not so much.
That's a Joe Tongue request. Is we just stop playing all these angsty dudes who tell us we suck and start
And
playing a
beat
bunch
us.
of hot chicks.
Yeah, who can't beat us.
Yeah.
Speaking
thing
of,
is- Yeah, I was going to say Joe would rather win the game of Halo than meet the hot chicks. That's
that's true.
Have you guys
prime
had a little
motivation.
one-on-one yet?
Shish and I.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Because you
No.
and Frank used to kind of scrimmage all the time.
Yeah, Frank and I scrimmed all the
You're
time.
about 50-50
Frank and
I'm just wondering how you...
Frank and Shish played actually.
Yeah,
Shish
They had
Game
a
to
battle for
lock up.
semi-destiny.
yeah.
What was it, default?
Yeah,
a lot of
he
default.
beat me 15.
I really think
Yeah.
you guys probably... You laugh, but Lifetime, I bet you are almost 50.
No, it was
Not
Guardian.
even
It wasn't
close.
lockout.
I've seen Frank
Well, yeah.
'Cause you
many
were-
times
Whoring
beat
the
you by
sniper.
1 or 2.
You most certainly have not.
Yeah, he has actually.
Yeah, I really, truly have.
Yeah, I mean that's not even an exaggeration. I've beaten you many, many times.
You've beaten me many
50-50
times.
is probably on average about right.
About a seventh as many times as I beat
I
you.
don't believe it at all. So you and Chad haven't actually had a full square off yet.
No,
Yeah.
we're actually going to probably just try and keep the peace between Chad and I.
What's wrong with some? What you
What's
don't
wrong
even
with a
think,
little bit of
like,
war?
back in the day,
It's
like
not-
Scotty and Michael wouldn't scrimmage to stay hot? I mean,
I need Scottie Pippen to stay focused on the playlist.
Oh, he's Scotty.
I see.
I see what you did
a
there. I see that you made him the ugly bad one. No offense to Mr. Scottie Pippen, an excellent basketball player.
And also a huge fan of the podcast.
Is he?
Massive, yeah, loves it. Always messaging me. Sending those
IX
emails.
Pippen, XI.
so does that mean Frank's that other dude then that had the nose rings and the pink hair? And
This is Rodman.
Yeah.
No, Frank is Bill Wennington.
No, I'm Bill Lambier. Shut your face.
Will Purdue. John Paxson.
Okay. back
Steve
on
Kerr?
Let's stay on target.
Did you just like call me out for being white?
Stay
I am
on target. What? And you happen to offer up a lot of assists in team games.
And easy layups. Check me out.
Oh God, stop. No, they don't like it when you talk about sports. Focus.
Yeah,
We're only talking about Halo.
Focus.
Be serious.
Back to
Isn't
Halo.
it time for the final 4 minute?
Yeah. The Final Four happened 16 weeks ago.
Yeah, my wife went.
It is
You
now
didn't go.
NFL preseason.
I feel like we're taking away a lot of Shishka's valuable.
Oh,
let's,
I'm not
let's-
going anywhere right now. They're still moving my desk over by Luke, so
Yeah, Shishka and I are going to be like neighborly.
yeah.
It's going to be because you and I are pretty much on top of each other right now, Sketch.
It's pretty
It is-
close. I have to do a Duke
Who's-
style answer
who's-
to my desk. I
who's
slide
the
across
top?
my monitor.
Sketches.
It's just a,
I'll take it, whatever.
He's so
just a
surprised that he
10-year
admitted it.
It's just a tenure-based pyramid. It would actually be me, then Frank, then you, and then Chad.
Oh, great.
Yeah, our area, we were just talking about that earlier. This part of our beer fridge being stolen and unhooked, and this whole area up here has changed dramatically. We used to have this big suite, I would call it, up in the mezzanine, where Frank used to share with us in good times.
We had a
And
couch.
now we're all crammed in like sardines, like a little shanty town.
yeah, we
of
did have a
engineering
ton of
and
space.
research and websites. I mean, it's We're a little bit crammed right now. We're
tight
growing.
tight quarters. Yeah,
We're hiring people like all the time, and we got a lot of new things going on.
we've got a whole wing.
I was in the new office space up the hill.
I was too.
They had like a 400-inch
God.
Pioneer Elite plasma.
So much room
My
in there.
God.
Yep, that's. I think that's Harold's new restroom.
With those Maxell recliner chairs. Oh, yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice over there.
So, is it true that your favorite game type still is Golden Showers? Or
No, I was just being a
Everyone's
troll.
favorite game type.
what about your controversial suggestion to replace SWAT with SCAT?
Oh, special carbines and tactics. I think it would ship.
Nothing wrong
I
with
think it
that.
would ship. Yeah.
If only starting carbines were an option.
Yeah,
we need
it's
to talk to you about that
unfortunate.
offline.
Oh crap! There was a thread about that on Bungie.net not too long ago that I kind of had to step in on, but it's an unfortunate truth. But
I
some
heard
of
you
them
have
are-
your own website, like that was
no.
created by fans of your work. Is that
Shishka
true?
Rocks. or
Shishka Rocks. No, that I don't think
Shishka's
that was
awesome. What was it? I forgot. Shishka.
I don't know.
it. You
It
might be
comes back
thinking
to
of
us.
shishkasucks.com.
Oh.
You know
that's
you've made it.
Right. It's counterintuitive when you think about it.
You
Who
haven't
ma-
hit that level of status yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't actually looked. I wouldn't be surprised.
Lukesucks.com or a
Lukem Sucks.
Scoot Sucks or Lukem
I will
Sucks.
now that we've talked about it.
We're gonna go register it,
I'd like
or
to see
somebody's
that.
gonna
No,
get to it.
the fans will have created one probably after
Don't
this.
flatter yourself.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, no, they don't hate you with half the venom and vitriol they hate Shishka.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Just start banning people with reckless abandon, and that'll help. It'll
No, I think that's what Shishka's going to be doing.
yeah, he used to all
Yeah.
the time. I just
Already
banned someone
done.
the other day. It's pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wish
Good
we
times.
were talking. Shish and I were talking
You,
to.
you remember how far the ban hammers come?
Those-
I mean,
The kids are really lucky that they put in that secondary security, right? Because I've stopped banning people so quick now because I have to type in
You
another
have to
password.
put in another password.
yeah, but we have
oh,
so
no.
many grades of ban now.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Whether we want to voice ban you for a day or I'll machine ban you forever. Like it's nice that we have that much.
Maybe we should mention that little
power.
thing that we got going on with the voice ban.
oh yeah.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
got somebody voice banned
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah,
It was
don't
good
mess with
times.
us. We got the high ground.
Yeah, we can voice
Don't do
ban.
it.
We had the
We
high
can
ground.
voice ban you permanently from Halo 3 now. There's a pretty high bar for getting that kind of ban.
it
and
takes
only
a
applies to
special
Halo 3.
kind of
Takes a
chatter.
special kind of chat. Yeah.
But you can rest assured that if it's something that any of us in the studio are personally included in, like if in the lobby or in the game that this takes place in, you'll probably
Yeah.
be muted
Be
for
nice.
the rest
There
of your
will
You don't
be
even have to be
retribution.
nice. Talk some smack. That's fine.
Right.
You should know what the limits are.
There's a line. Just behave.
Yeah. Play nice.
Be funny.
I think I can only think of one time, and this was before we instituted the policy in the games I've played online, where I've been like, "Oh, that was excessive," and I've played I think 1,200 games or something in matchmaking, and so there's only been the one time I think where
Well,
I've been.
you're friends only most of the time.
No, when I play Halo, it's everyone. The rest of the time, it's friends only.
Oh, okay.
So, otherwise, yeah, if it's friends only, it's every time I hear Joe Tong, he should be voice banned.
That's true.
And before people start asking, we will not take requests for voice
Yeah,
bans.
no,
We
it has.
Don't even try it.
It has to be something that
Yeah.
has been experienced by a Bungie staffer
Firsthand,
yeah.
firsthand.
Speaking of requests, though, if somebody had an idea for a playlist or for some Forge modification to an existing map, how would they best convey that to you?
By sending an email to Frank O'Connor's email address. No, the best way actually would be to go to Optimatch, the Bungie.net playlist forum, and make a post there, or even better, reply to an existing post there on topic.
So you're checking that actively, regularly,
actively,
you're
daily.
there, you're listening, you're watching.
I'm banning jerks, all of that.
All right.
So yeah, that is actually the best place to go if you've got a great idea for making matchmaking better. If you know how to save matchmaking and make Bungle fix their shit, then that's the place to be.
What's your top 3 favorite maps in the Halo franchise?
In the entire Halo
Yes.
franchise.
In the entirety of Halo.
That includes. I'll even
In a
include stuff
world.
like Death Island, Danger Canyon. They're all fair game.
Yeah, I gotta say, I did. I'm not a huge fan of the Halo PC maps. They were pretty fun.
I was just giving that as an
Timberland,
example. You
Yeah,
don't have to
sure.
defend
No,
each
I
one.
understand. I understand.
Answer the question. What are your 3 favorite maps?
Straight to the point. Well, let's see here. Hang 'em High, got to be number one.
Good street cred right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Word.
There we
Kids
go.
think you're cool.
Yeah, so far so
Choose your
good.
next one
Right.
wisely.
Lockout.
No. Some dudes are pissed.
Yeah, of course.
They think you're
There's-
picking the same map over and over. You're trying to
You're
have
saying
indie
what they wanna
cred.
hear,
You're
okay.
basically saying you like the Arcade Fire.
Right.
No, it's worse. Is Radiohead.
Oh. Anyway, third map. That's a good one. How about Beaver Creek? Actually, Halo 1.
Interesting.
Shotty CTF on Beaver
Yeah,
Creek?
absolutely.
Interesting
That's some
choice.
good
What about your
times.
3 favorite sketch? This is an interesting little
Yeah,
thing you've
let's go
created.
there.
Yeah.
I'm just probing, you know, I'm planting little seeds. 3 favorite maps.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, why don't you come back to me when I have some time to think about that? Now let's take it over to Frank.
Well, that ain't even fair. I had to do it on the fly.
Guardian.
Oh, come on.
You're new.
Guardian.
I like Guardian.
Your number 1 is Guardian. Are you just
this
picking
is just
3?
my
Like,
top 3,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
They're no particular order.
Okay.
The order I remember in. Guardian, I like. I have to say, I do like Lockout. It's one of the only small maps where I like playing objective games. And it's one of the maps where I don't mind losing for some reason. There's certain game types and maps where I'm not pissed when I lose, like SWAT. I don't mind when I lose at SWAT. Lockout, Guardian, and some people would say that's the same maps.
Some people would be very angry that
Oh,
you made
internet.
it.
Oh yeah, this is where probably left field, but I really, really like Terminal. Halo 2.
Terminal was pretty fun.
Oh, Luke. That one was good. There's so many. It's really hard.
what do
That's a hard
you
question.
narrowing it down at all?
That was a hard
Are
question.
you ready?
That's a really hard question to answer. I mean, I have to. I'll include them in one and the same, just because I've had so many great memories. But I would do the Gulch / Coag. It would make my top 3.
See, I actually personally, I like Valhalla better than Blood Gulch.
You
But,
just ignited a storm.
That's fine. Let it burn, kids.
That's great.
Burn.
You also like Containment better than Cyclone, you said too.
I think I've
Snowy
probably played
maps.
a game on Containment ever, and I'm sure I quit.
Damn, at that point, like I really like Sanctuary. I've had some really awesome games on Sanctuary. I mean, it's just
Sanctuary's
3,
good.
just so many. I have like a 20-way tie for the top 3. I think I'll skip Lockout since it's been kind of played out already. We've gone down that path. Yeah, damn.
What about Wizard?
I like Wizard and Warlock. I do like symmetrical arena-based maps. It's some of my favorites.
Turf was good times.
Oh, Turf was
Turf
excellent.
was really good times,
Turf's
too.
good.
If
Yeah,
you
have
like
it around.
Turf, Ghost Town is going to rock and wreck your world.
That's true.
It's very
Actually,
true.
I mean, Standoff. I love that map.
Oh, yeah.
Insanely, a little CTF on Standoff.
Yeah,
It's
a
good-
multi-standoff
good
is
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah,
So you still haven't narrowed it down at all?
I really haven't. No, I don't think I can. I fail in that regard.
He asks the questions.
Why don't we actually
answer
just go with his 3 least favorite maps are?
No, I
Let's not do that.
want
They're
to
all
steer.
good. They're
I
all
want to
right.
steer away from that.
What's your weapon of choice, by the way? I don't mean statistically, but just franchise wide. So I'll throw the Halo 1
I'd have
pistol
to
in.
say
Are you one of
I'm a-
those guys?
Not really.
Fool.
I mean, the Halo 1 pistol was awesome, but I used to, I'd go over to Connecticut to go to Louis Wu's house for LANs, or I'd go to all these different places, and you'd always run into the group of people that just wanted to play pistols on Blood Gulch.
Yeah, I think I got stuck in one of those nights.
And it just
So
kind of got
good.
to this point where it's like, I don't want to play this anymore. I can't stand the sound of the pistol being fired anymore. So I'm kind of just like set against the pistol in that kind of way. I can't wait to see what my inbox is going to look like
Some
after
people,
this ships.
there's no hope for them.
So you're a BR guy then?
Yeah, definitely be a guy.
Well,
I don't know.
Frank was
looks
just, like,
he's
rubbing my
horribly
elbow.
bored.
Rocket launchers.
Yeah, that's
Prisoner Rockets is awesome.
Yes.
Good
Rockets on
times.
Prisoner,
Good
awesome.
times.
Very, very
I'm surprised
good.
no one said Damnation. I think Damnation's one of my favorite maps ever.
It's good.
I like to
Like
chill
Dam-
out more than
Chill Out was
Damnation
also
myself.
good.
I love Chill Out. Chill Out is
So good.
so good. I like Midship too.
Yeah.
Midship would be in my top 3.
Midship Wood.
Midship, Lockout, maybe Damnation, maybe Chill Out.
You're putting Frank to sleep.
He's just thinking about how the phone calls he's got to go return. This feels like it's like an NPR show right now.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, but
times.
in NPR, their wives don't call them saying that they can't go to the titty bar.
I wish do we have the ability to call her right now on the air?
That would be
Can we
amazing.
conference her in on the air? No, that would be a show. When people thought the Luke Timmons sordid past was good stuff, that would be great.
Let me try it. Everyone shut up, though, because you can't hear your hair. Gonna call my wife back and
So,
find out if I'm allowed to
All
go
right,
to the titty bar.
here we go in real
Right
time.
now, Frank O'Connor's calling his wife to see if he's allowed to go to the bachelor party.
I should say that I actually didn't really want to go just because it was late.
But now you do.
But well, now I just want to find out why I'm not supposed to go.
What mean? Do you have to ask? What do you mean?
No, I just want to find out where
He's-
that came from.
He's
So
dialing right now. He's
Everyone quiet.
putting the phone to his ear.
This is on the air. This is not staged. Frank's putting the phone to his ear. It's ringing.
Hey, what's up?
He's talking to his wife right now.
He's
Yeah,
answering.
I saw. I was on vibrate. I was recording a podcast.
They're
Hey,
chatting.
why are we all forbidding all the men from going to the nudie bar?
He's asking the question.
Right, but you suddenly like got all up on it, and you're like, no, you don't have to go.
He's acting like he's tough.
You're witnessing
So you don't really have a
podcast
good reason.
history. I could just sort of hear.
All right,
yelling.
okay. Anything else?
Getting fired up. He's going to be in big trouble later.
That's quite a look on his face.
And this is all a front.
True enough. No, anything else?
I think he just got owned.
I think so too.
I think
All right,
he's
well,
going to
I'll
be
see you
sleeping
when
on
I
the
get back.
couch.
Someday
All
we'll
right,
have something
talk to you
real
later.
to talk about, like a new project, something somebody cares about.
Hi. So,
How'd that go? How'd that go there?
she didn't actually have a good reason. She just
She just
figured,
Your wife didn't want you to go to a strip bar.
not even that. She just said that.
Didn't
just-
want you to go
No,
out.
just don't
She
go.
felt like we didn't really want to go, which, as it turns out, is true. And she was just saying that she didn't think that the bachelor would mind if we bailed.
Was she offering her as an excuse? Like, if you don't want
No.
to go, you could say my
No,
old
not
lady
at all. It
won't
was
let
the
me.
most vague thing ever.
Weird. I thought that'd be a lot more entertaining than that was.
No, it wasn't.
Sorry,
Lame. We
folks.
should just cut it out.
No, where is it? It's staying.
I was entertained.
I don't really know where to go from there. I think that's probably.
Either. I mean,
I think that's
clearly
probably-
we have nothing left to
It's
discuss.
probably the best and
Best
worst
episode ever.
moment in the history of the show. In the prestigious 17 episode history, or 19, or
Yep. Something like that.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, it's still been legendary, and new maps are on their way by the time this podcast is.
You might even have been playing them for like 2 months by the time this comes out.
It's true. It's true. And I hate after today's show, our efforts to have a permanent hosting solution. I don't think that call helped our efforts at all. So,
Yeah. And
Chad, any closing comments?
No,
No.
you
No
want
one ever does.
no. Well, I mean, it's kind of like closing. I mean, closing comments.
I
Like,
don't
I don't-
know. Just say something.
This isn't McNeil Lair.
Well, somebody can go out.
We need one of those like sign off songs that's sad, you know. You had a bad day.
All right. Well, tonight Frank's going to make it rain, and we'll be back next time.
The Bungie Studios podcast is mixed and mastered by Steve Lopez, produced by Tom Giaconda and Chris Gossett, and hosted by Brian Gerard, Frank O'Connor, Luke Smith, and Bungie Studios.